There is this one thing that is costing your brands hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month because you're focused on acquiring new customers, but you're not at all focused on the customers that have purchased from you before, but ended up becoming a lapsed customer. And that's a huge majority of your list, surprisingly. So what I'm going to do is going to show you the exact step-by-step process to make sure that you can recover more customers that have previously purchased from you, because right now you're neglecting them and I'm willing to bet my kidney on it. So this is going to be the step-by-step strategy. I'm going to jump straight into the back end and show you every single thing that you can do to make sure that your retention rate is way higher, and you also don't have to spend to acquire new customers because your existing ones remain. So let's jump straight into it. All right, so here are two brands that are sending incredible lapsed customer emails or win-back emails. And what I want to cover is the exact psychology behind why a customer might lapse, so you can better understand what you can do for your brand and show you examples of what other brands are doing, and then build a win-back flow live with you so that you can recapture so many more customers and save yourself thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So starting here, you can see what Grunts does. Grunt sends a super simple email trying to basically bribe people to come back, but then also giving them the option to unsubscribe. This is super important because you don't want dead customers on your list, but you also want to make a kind of this warning or this ultimatum for them where, hey, you're either engaging with this or we're never going to send to you again. You're not going to be able to get our deals. So they do this really, really well. Another brand does this plain text email variation. And I really love this because, again, reaching out from the founder is a great way to do things. And with this, you're actually giving them options to kind of complete a survey as easily as possible and click on these options. So for example, love it, just haven't run out, haven't used it as often as expected, didn't love the fragrance, something else, tell us everything. So all of this is such an easy way to gather data from your audience if they're willing to answer it. Then these answers will generate a huge data set for you that you can then generate better ideas for. So if you know that a specific product has a way higher chance of lapsed customers, then you don't want to push them towards that and you want to reallocate your budget. But that is a little bit more of an advanced conversation. For now, you just want to do these basic things to try and win them back. And if not win them back, at least gather data. There's nothing better than that. And now if you want a little bit more inspiration than just beyond these two, what I recommend is going to mill.com and then type in winback, and you can see a bunch of what other brands are sending. There's tons and tons and tons of examples, and all I typed was winback, and it will generate 223 other emails that other brands have done. So this is a great way to see other visual inspirations. But now let's go to the psychology and the structure of what we're about to build out, because this is a really important. So the first thing that you want to do is figure out the time period that a customer is supposed to refill their product. So if you are a high AOV brand, like a jewelry store or a clothing brand or something like that, you are not going to experience the same repeat customer range as a wellness brand. Meaning, someone who buys a wellness product is probably going to buy every 30 to 60 days. And so what that means is if they don't buy between 30 to 60 days, we consider that a lapsed customer. That's someone who's obviously not really enjoying their product. They haven't purchased in that time, so we want to kind of gauge that period. Whereas with a jewelry store or a clothing brand, someone might only buy every 3 to 6 months. You need to figure out what the average repeat purchase rate is for your brand in terms of timeline. So are they most likely to purchase every 3 months, 6 months, or maybe every year? That is going to be something for you to figure out in your backend in Shopify. Now, that's something that we as an agency do for our clients so we can best understand the strategies and how we can retarget. But if you do want an agency to go do all of that thinking for you, go down below and book in a call if you're making at least $50,000 in online revenue. Otherwise, just pay attention to this video. I'm going to try and summarize it as simply as possible. Now, once you figure that out, you want to choose that as your lapsed period, okay? And I'll show you everything. Now, there's a few reasons why a customer might lapse, all right? And here are some of the reasons. First of all, the product might not have worked for them. And maybe it did, but they didn't know what to expect from it. This ends up becoming a post-purchase issue. They just never got the right walkthrough. So a lot of lapsed customers could be a symptom of a poor post-purchase flow, which I've done another video about. But for right now, these are the reasons. High prices, product maybe didn't work for them, cutting costs in the time of economic crisis is a huge one. They maybe had a negative experience, or they went to a competitor with better pricing for the same thing that you offer. And so this winback flow is supposed to counter all those things. So the psychology is we want to send about 3 different emails to them, and we very blatantly want to bribe them to come back. So we want to introduce an offer off the get-go. There's no harm in offering an offer straight away because we're about to lose these customers anyway. We may as well give it the best shot at luring them back but suggesting another product for them, especially if that first one didn't work. So in this first email, we want to lure them with a bribe. So that's a percentage off, discount off, store credit, whatever it is. And from there, we want to show them what else that we have that is similar to what they purchased before. We want to show them more reviews, and we want to introduce that offer. Then in email 2, again, we want to redo that whole process. Show them what is similar, introduce that offer again, give them a bit of a reminder. And then the last one is we want to say, hey, do you still want to hear from us? Why haven't you come back, and send over some kind of survey? So with that being said, I'm going to show you exactly how to build this out the correct way, because so many brands do this incorrectly. So first, you want to open up your ESP. I am using Klaviyo, but if you use other platforms like Omnisend, that's fine as well. What we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the segments section, not the flow section. First, we want to navigate to segments. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to segments over here, and we're going to create a winback segment. The way you're going to do this is by choosing your lapse time, so winbacks. All right. So what we're going to do is what someone has done, place an order at least once over all time. Then we're going to say and, all right? What has done, place an order 0 times in the last, our lapsed customer range is about 90 days, okay? And so we got 19,000 people that proved that they were a worthy customer. They just never came back. And what you can do is you can share this list with your ad team, your meta team, and get them to run retargeting ads so you have the best shot at bringing them back. But for right now, we want to do what we can for technically free in our own channel, which is email. So we don't have to spend first. So we're going to create this segment. Reason we want to create a segment is because this is going to dynamically populate and continuously be the best true source of accuracy. And so for your sake, if you're a high AOV brand, this might change to about 180 days or so, okay? So it's going to be different per brand, and obviously you need to base that on your life cycle. So let's go and create the segment. Now what we're going to do is while that's creating, we're going to navigate to the flow section. And here we want to create a flow. And what we want to do is usually people choose the winback flow that is automatically created by Klaviyo. So we will, for the sake of this, not do this because we want to trigger it by the segment. What they do is they trigger this with a filter. So they wait 75 days. We don't like that. What we want to do is build our own. So we're going to build this, and we're going to say winback YouTube. All right. We're going to create this manually, and I'm going to show you the correct way to build this out. So our trigger, and what we're going to do is our trigger is going to be added to segment. And we're going to choose our segment that we just created. So let's try see if we can find it. So winbacks, perfect. And no re-entry. We want to go ahead and we're going to add a profile filter. And we want to say what someone has done, place an order 0 times since starting the flow. So anyone that does place an order, when they go through this flow, they will filter out. So you don't have to worry about sending to the wrong people. What we want to do now is we want to create a property update, and we're going to update their existing property or create one. So I'm going to say winback, and we're going to say it's true. All right. So what this means is when someone enters into here, they actually get a delegated property tag, and I'll show you why that's important. Now we can start our actual build out. What we want to do is we want to wait. And I like to wait a day until a specific time of day. So let's just say EST, and we want to send it our best time. And what we've tested is 7 a.m. is usually the best time. So we're going to do that. All right. And then we're going to send our first email. So I'm just going to build the skeleton structure so you can see, and we're going to turn this off. We want to make sure that we do have this off, and then enable UTM tracking. Perfect. And we'll choose a design soon. Then we want to wait again. I'm going to wait one more day. And here we want to wait until a specific time day. Maybe we can do an evening send for this one. This one you can play around with, and eventually you'll run some split tests on. But for right now, we're just doing it this way. And then we're going to do this. And I'm just going to create a shorter version. All right. and just make it 2 emails. Then what happens is if they exit out of here, let's say 1 day, and they still have not placed an order at the end of this, then what we want to do is we want to make sure that we actually add a property tag again, and we can make it whatever we want, but I'm going to label it as this: winback failed. All right. And what we'll do is we'll suppress these people. So anyone that's gone through this flow and they still haven't purchased, we want to suppress them. We don't want to keep wasting our budget on them. It's not going to make any sense. So what we want to do now is we want to come back here and we want to build out this first email. And I'm going to show you how to do it correctly. And what we want to do is we're just going to create a new one. Let's just go to create. I'm going to create it from scratch so you can see the general thinking behind how this will work. So now we have this, and what we want to do is we immediately want to show them a hero visual saying, hey, welcome back, whatever it is. So let's go ahead and do that. And what I'm about to show you, please pay attention because it's going to be the game changer of whether this converts or not. So let's go and we have a blatant bribe for you. Okay, let's just pretend like this is the subject line. We'll obviously actually build this out in Figma instead. But let's go ahead and just do that. We have a blatant bribe for you. Then it will be the image of whatever. So we can always choose a random image. We can see what's in the library. So I'm not going to use anything. Actually, we'll just leave this as a blank for now. But you get the idea. And then what we want to do is we want to immediately show them a dynamic product feed. All right. And what this is, you're going to drag the product visual. So you want to come here. You're going to drag this product section. You're going to click on it. You're going to make it dynamic. And then go here and create a product feed. And what we're going to do is we're going to create and curate exactly what we show them. So you can choose to show them what they purchased previously and give them kind of a refill email. But I wouldn't recommend that. Instead, what we want to do is we want to show them products a customer may like based on their purchase history. And if there's limited data, we'll just show them bestsellers. So this is going to be incredible because we can show them, hey, you purchased this before. It didn't work for you. So here's what we recommend that is most likely to fit your needs. And this is working on data of what other people purchase and what other people have liked. So this is the best source of truth for a product instead of randomly showing them things. So we're going to populate that and we're going to make it show 3 of them. Now we want to optimize for mobile, so we're going to show it in this way instead. All right. And you can obviously create this however you want. Usually we would design this a lot better. Let's say, and you usually want to give them your best offer, right? So get, let's just say $20 off your next purchase. We've gone and curated a list of items you might like based on what you chose before. Right, obviously the context of this email would be a lot higher quality, but this is just for you to get a general idea, right? And we'll probably change this to not be all caps, for example, and all of that. But this is just for you to see the way that we would build this out. And what we want to do is we want to build some trust with them. And so usually what we'll do is we'll add some reviews at the bottom here. All right. So we'll add some reviews that fits in with what they like, didn't like, etc., etc. And we'll just design this as need be. So let's see if there's anything outside of this. Let's actually use this one instead. All right. So now we got this email where we're building trust with them again. We're showing them our other bestsellers, and we're probably just showing them exactly what they left behind. So if we preview and test this, let's go take a look at another winback customer. And in this case, it's pulling from my profile. It's showing what I might like that I've, purchased before. And then if we go take a look at other customers, we can go see what else other people are, leaving behind. But this now populates correctly. and we've got our first full email pretty much set to go. Now, if you want to do what Grunts did, so remember what Grunts did, they basically gave this really good offer, so get 25% off for life or whatever, and then unsubscribe. We can add that as well. And so the best thing to do is add a button over here. And we want to be very careful with this. We don't want them to unsubscribe because that's going to damage our deliverability and it's going to indicate a really bad sign to the inbox providers. So instead, what we're going to do is we can make it that if they select this, it actually allocates a little bit of a property. And that's what we want to do instead. We do not want to go ahead and make it easy for them to unsubscribe. That's not what we want to do. And so you will go create logic behind this that will turn this into a property tag. All right. So you'll go ahead and do that instead. Now we got email 1 completely sorted. We will change the subject lines, etc., etc. Then we're going to go to email 2. Now email 2 is where we want that plain text email. So create a text only. And we will then build it out in the way that this brand has, because this is the ideal way, right? And you want to say, it's Sam, the founder of Real Botanicals. You purchased a while ago and haven't been back. So I wanted to blatantly bribe you to come back with our biggest offer of, okay. And if you wouldn't be interested, I would love to know why. And then here is where you give them the chance to choose the multiple options of the buttons. And you will obviously build it out in this way. So is it this? Is it this? Is it this? And if you want to build it out that way, you're going to have to make it an image-based email, but looking like a text-only email. So you can go ahead and do it this way. This is going to be the perfect outline, because what you want to do is you want to give them an enticing offer. And in the ideal world, you want to show them an us versus them. You want to show them how you compare to your competitors. You want to show them what they bought before versus what they should be buying instead. You want to maybe counter their pain points. So you can split test your plain text email to say, hey, no, you haven't been back. Maybe it was like the product didn't really hit. You didn't reach the expectations that you wanted. And that's completely fair. What I would recommend is just please give us one last chance. I'm willing to bribe you to do that. Get you $20 off. Basically means that this product is essentially almost free. And the reason I'm doing that is because I do think that this is going to be a better fit for you depending on what you were looking for. Give it a try. I think that you won't regret it. This is going to be really great because you're being transparent. You're giving them an offer. There's almost like a no-brainer offer to come back, especially if it was a pricing issue before. And you're just reminding them that you really do want their business and you're trying to reach out on a human level. And once they go through all of this, if they still do not recover, you want to make sure you tag their property and exclude them and then suppress them. That's as simple as that. And worst case, you can add that list again to your meta team, get them to try and recover with retargeting ads. That's it. But there's no need to keep running retargeting ads when you have a free method, quote unquote, to get them back. And this is the best strategy that you can implement to make sure that you win back a shit ton of customers, make a ton of revenue, and just save your business so much profitability. So with that being said, go down below, book in a call if you are looking to work with an agency that knows retention like the back of their hand. We have been doing this for the last 8 years, worked with brands making millions and millions of dollars, and we would love to work with you if you're making at least $50,000 a month. So go down below, book that in. Otherwise, watch some of the other videos on post-purchase flows and other flows that you should be building out to recapture a lot of AOV, LTV, and retention. And I will see you in the next one.